I'm Courtney and welcome to my channel. This week I'm going to be showing you how I wrap my Christmas presents. I pride myself on beautiful gift wrapping for every occasion and I'd love to share with you how I do this. But before I get into it, don't forget to head down below and hit that subscribe button and ring the little notifications bell while you're there as well. Alright, I hope you have your Christmas jammies on and you are by the fireplace ready to wrap your presents when the kids and everyone in the house is all asleep. So let's get stuck into it. So I'm going to run you through wrapping two different items today. I'm going to show you a standard square box style wrapping, which is really lovely and crisp looking. And I'm going to show you how to wrap something oddly shaped as well. So I've got some examples to show you here. Don't forget to grab all your supplies. What you're going to need is some wrapping paper. I just grabbed mine from a Kmart or somewhere like that. If I'm wrapping something that I want it to be really crisp, I'll use a little bit more wrapping paper and double it over a little bit more to give it a good crisp edge. And just watch out if you have a white wrapping paper not to get something that is too see-through. So you do want something a little bit more expensive. It is a white wrapping paper. You're also going to want some nice sharp scissors, some tape. I love to use the tape, the Scotch Guard tape that actually comes in a dispenser and it has a nice satiny finish so it kind of blends in. I also will use some double-sided tape if I want to make it look really crisp. And last but not least, I love adding some beautiful ribbon. This is a lovely glittery Christmas ribbon that comes from Costco and it is in a 45-meter roll and it's not too badly priced either. So definitely worth picking up some good ribbon to finish off the piece. All right, first of all, we're going to be wrapping something that is a rectangular shape. So we're going to grab our easy shape for the first example. So I've got a firm rectangular box here. I've just got a cardigan that some lucky recipient is going to get for Christmas. And we're going to wrap this one first. First of all, before you start wrapping anything though, make sure you check over all your boxes and make sure that there is no price tags left on anything. You don't want to finish wrapping your present just to have the thought that you may have left a price tag on there. So before you do anything, stop and check all your presents right now for their price tags. I'm going to do the same, and I do know that on this second present there is a price tag, so I'm going to take that off right now. So I'm going to lay my paper out, always on a hard surface. Don't try and do this on carpet. Try and use a table. If you have tiled floors, that's great, or hardwood floors, but don't try and do it on a soft surface because your paper will just rip through. You want to make sure you have enough paper to cover at least 3/4 of the side, the end of the box. So this is probably a bit too much paper, so we can even make it a bit smaller, but 1/2 to 3/4 is really where you want to be. So that is probably about right. And I'm just going to leave the same distance on the other end here and check it. And that is fine. Thank goodness this paper has those squares in it, so it makes it really easy, but you can either measure yours as well, or also hold it up on the other side to make sure you've got enough. So I'm going to cut mine here. And if you have a good pair of scissors, you should be able to glide through your paper. Perfect. So what I always advise to do as well is put your present face down and do it in the middle. So that way the joins are all going to be underneath at the bottom of the present. This isn't too important with something like a card game, but with other presents it might make a difference that it's sitting the right way up while it's sitting under the Christmas tree for a little while. And my join is right there on the edge, and that is really great if you can get it as close to the edge as possible. But do try and pull everything a little bit tighter. I like to pull it fairly tight, so I might just slide it up one little bit more. So that way you have a really nice crisp edge on the box. Perfect, and over. Great, so you have a nice little snug tunnel that it's almost sitting in. And then I will grab my piece of tape off. This is why I also love the ones in the tape dispenser, because it is a one-handed grab. And that bit of tape will just hold it down there. And it's nice clear tape, as I said, so you can't even see. Plus, it's the bottom, so no one's ever gonna see your join. The next thing you want to do is deal with these ends. Because we know it's not too long because we measured it, this is quite good. But if these ends were extremely long, I would just cut them down so that you know that you're not working with a huge amount of excess. So I would literally get a pair of scissors and cut around the end to get rid of the excess if I had too much. But what you're going to do here now is work inwards first from the sides and then do the bottom and the top. So you'll push in the sides until it is nice and flat in the middle. And then you want to put an actual crease in the corner of the paper there. If you have a little tag bit like this as well, you want to crease that end too. And the same with the other side. You want to do it to the top and the other side as well. And then you want to fold the bottom up and the top down. If your corner isn't quite nice and sharp, make sure you put some good creases in there, but if it isn't very sharp, you can also just fold the end over so it is a flat top. You could pop a crease in there as well if you needed to, but I don't mind having mine at the point. I think it looks quite pretty. So I will go ahead and tape this bottom side up first. And if, like me, you do have that little bit coming out, you can even just fold that under once more on the end there and fold down. Perfect, so that is the end of the Christmas present wrapped in a perfect little package. So I'm going to show you the other side in a nice close-up shot as well. Perfect, so that is the end of the present wrapped. You can see both the sides there and it is lovely and crisp looking. I do love this paper. It is from Kmart and I will link it down below in the description box for you. So that is the wrapping paper done. And next we can add in the ribbon to make a beautiful bow. I wanted to let you know before I do the ribbon on this one that I do have an entire series, a playlist on my channel for everything Christmas related. So make sure you check out that playlist after this video as well. I'll link it here above for you now. Here I am going to now pop the ribbon on this present. I do change up which direction I'll put the ribbon on, but sometimes I love to put it over this longer edge so it hides that join. And that's what we're gonna do here today. So if your join has not been perfectly neat, you do have a little bit of an opportunity if you choose a nice thick ribbon to hide it if you want to. So I've cut that ribbon. I did want to just cut a little bit more than what I needed because you'd rather have too much ribbon than not enough. And I'm going to put the present right in the middle of the ribbon so you can see that it is even. You might notice this ribbon is great as well. It has a little bit of wire running through each edge, which is going to allow us to make some really beautiful shapes out of it too. But first of all, let's tie it in a knot here, like so. There is Alexa tuning in. If you like my smart home technology as well, like this TV, don't forget to check out that video too. I'll link that one up above here for you now. But we are going to tie it first of all in a nice cross, and then we will tie some bows from there. So I'm going to go straight up and up to get 2 even bows, and then loop them around like you usually would tie a bow. So there is a beautiful bow. I am going to actually shape this as well with that wire that's inside so it is lovely and full looking, and I will shape even the tail ends and make sure that they are glitter side up. And then it is looking very cute, but my last little trick I will do is to cut a V out of your ribbon ends. That just makes that little bit more detail and it will look very cute. You don't obviously have to do your bows because I do mine. I love to do mine very oversized, but you could add a different feature on the top of yours, and I might show you a different option on this next present as well. But that is going to be my finished product for wrapping, and we've gone ahead and hidden all those joins as you can see and still got the paper exposed. I'd now go ahead and put some name tags on this for whoever's getting the gift, so I'd either tie it here in the middle to the bow and have it hanging off, or I might stick something on the actual wrapping itself. So I'll go ahead and do that soon, but here is the end result of that easy wrap, a simple shape like a square or a rectangle. And that is going to look beautiful under my traditional Christmas tree this year. Let's move into something a little more challenging. I do have here a very interesting shape. It is a baby bowl that I've got for a very gorgeous friend of mine, and it comes with a little spoon inside, but as you can tell, this is not going to be easy to wrap with paper. But I love my gifts to all have the same wrapping paper and ribbon on them under the tree. So instead of grabbing a bag, I'm going to show you how to get this one wrapped. So first of all, we're going to get our wrapping paper and size up the item. And this is the same way you would size up any oddly shaped item. So I would usually put it down on the wrapping paper and I would try and wrap it around with how I want to sit it down the ground. So if I want to sit it on this end and have it wrapped with this to be the base, I would have that towards me, and I'm going to try and go around it, giving myself a little bit of excess. So as long as I have a bit of an overlap, which is about here, I'm going to go ahead and cut that line. And when you're doing oddly shaped items, you do want to have a little bit more paper than a little bit less. So make sure you give yourself a little bit more to work with. You can always cut down, but you can never re-add. Now what we're going to want to do is pop that paper around and check it again, and it's fine. And then you'll put your gift out of the way for a moment while you create your wrapping. So what you want to do is pop both of these in both sides and overlap them ever so slightly, and make sure that you then press it down. So you want to crease each side with that little bit of an overlap, so you have a nice sharp crease. Then what you'll do is get your sticky tape and get a nice long piece. And you're going to join that center up. So you now have joined it up, and then what we're going to do is some special folding to make the base of a bag. Fold this, first of all, up, like so. Perfect, so you've made that crease in the bottom there, and then you're going to try and fold these so you can actually make them flat together. As you can see, mine's probably a little too high, so I'm going to try and do that fold a little bit lower and just play around till I get it right. So that is ever so slightly lower. And it's so close to being perfect that I could probably just make it work. And I'm going to fold them in like that to get myself a little triangle. And fold this that way, and then I'll fold that little edge over there. So you then want to, once you've pressed that down, you'll have this little flat base. So as you can see, it's there, but it has come from that crease. So we made this crease, folded it up, lifted, and then pushed down. So that is where you see the shape we now have. And you're going to want to tape that one down. So I'll get a piece of tape and secure it in the middle so that we hold the shape. But I will also then secure it the whole way along, because this is going to be our base. So don't worry about having sticky tape or things showing here or not being perfect, because this is not going to be seen by anyone. It is going to be underneath. So you then taped along the edge, and it is quite firm, but what you want to do lastly is fold these corners back in on themselves, like so. So you're doing a little bit of origami here to make this one work. So they are just touching there, and again, taping them into position. Like so. And again, making sure that's a very good fold, sturdy fold. So then you've taped them in there along that initial fold. What you're now going to have is a little base. So we create that little bag. Now I'm going to cut off any excess. I do like to keep this until about this point though, so you know how much you're going to need, but I know we're not going to need this much, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that excess off now. And I will always repurpose this bit of paper for another gift. And it's great to keep these, even if it's only a tiny piece of paper, because if you happen to cut something short, you can slide that in underneath to give yourself a bit of coverage if you accidentally leave a gap on a present. So we're going to grab the gift now, pop this little bag out so it is nice and sturdy on the bottom. And like I said earlier, we have this little, almost like our own little gift bag we've created custom for the item. You're then going to grab your gift and pop it in the bottom there. And it sits nicely in the bag as you laid it down earlier. We then want to fold the bag in a way that they can't tell what the gift is. So the trick to this is that even though it's a funny shaped item, you don't want them to know what's in the gift bag, because sometimes that is a dead giveaway what the present is, and it kind of ruins a fun surprise. So by wrapping this in a funnier way and only having the base be the correct shape and the top be a different shape, you've actually hidden what the gift is a little bit better as well. So I will usually fold this down, so I'll find the top and creasing as I go. You definitely can't tell what the gift is. I will then tape that little fold down. And the gift is now wrapped, and you can't tell what it is, as I said, and it looks quite cute, but it would not be complete unless I was to add a little bit of my ribbon to it as well. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of a feature on here. This time I might do a different kind of ribbon bow for you. So I'm going to grab out, as I said, more than I probably need and create a little bow. One end and hold it between your finger and your thumb and make a little loop there, and then you want to twist and make another loop on this side. So you've now got these two loops. You then want to twist it again in that middle bit and make a loop, but make it a little bit bigger than the one before it so you can see it over there. And then do another twist in the middle and loop, and keep following that process until you're almost out of ribbon. Loop there, and then you've got, as you can see, these beautiful loops here, and I've got a little bit of excess on the end, so I'm going to do is turn that one around so it's nice and neat, and then I'm going to end up tying it around here so it'll come over the middle to support that join. And then at the back of it where I just did a twist, you can find it again and loop it through itself so you'll be able to go through this join just like so, and you should be able to pull that one quite tight to make a nice crisp middle to your bow like so, and then fluff it out as you like, and there is a very pretty bow. I like to fan mine out a little bit so you'll see some bits going to the top and some to the bottom, and you can probably even pull that little center bit a tad tighter. There we go, to really give it a beautiful shape. Don't forget, if you've got the wire ribbon like I do, to round those edges. I'm quite proud of how that one turned out, but there are plenty of different options. You can tie bows so many ways, so have a look online. I might even make a little bow tying tutorial for you if you guys like the sound of that. Leave a comment down below. But we're going to go ahead and attach this bow, and this is where our double-sided tape will come into play. So as you can see, I just attached some double-sided tape to the last bow there, and that is what is going to bond to our present. So I will actually stick my fingers in those two sections of the bow to push that on and figure out where I would like it on the present. So I'll stick my fingers in those little bow joins and push that one down so it is nice and firmly on there. And that is my Christmas bow. And yet again, I would add my name tag. If I was to have stickers, I can put them on there, or I would tie a little name tag and have it hanging off too. So you've got a few options there, but they are my two ways of wrapping a Christmas present. If you have an easy, simple rectangle box or a harder shape, this will work for basically anything else. So feel free to use that cute little bag idea. I really hope you enjoyed this gift wrapping session. If you like this video and like the sound of my channel, please feel free to head down below and hit that subscribe button. And I'll leave a link down there as well for you to check out the rest of my Christmas playlist. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you on the next one. Have a very Merry Christmas and bye. bye for now.